Where is Chris Gristle? Is it true that I've heard that he was actually one of those perps? Some of the stuff he did was perpish, some of it seemed legit, but you never know. You just got to take everything with a grain of salt. I noticed the same people who were his main commenters, those people have vanished too. I haven't seen any of them. Like they all showed up at the same time from you know, from the Garden State or something. And then they had the girl supposedly whose name was Bamboo, which which is actually like part of the sound bombing crew from like fucking Oakland or something. Some like music producers or something. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably right. So you don't know what was going on with that. Uh,
What up, TIs, perps, pimps, prostitutes, proselytizers, bisexuals, homosexuals? It's Chris Gristle. I'd like to take a minute to talk a little bit about what Soulless Dead was saying. I had made a video um, where I had called Jamil. I had gotten his phone number from a fellow TI. She was this girl who lives in Florida. And, I didn't think much about it when I first made it. Um, but I really got him to sell out. It was kind of crazy. I think, yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to post it. Um, it was kind of perpish, but I can assure you that I am a genuine TI. This shit follows me every day, everywhere I go, no matter if it's a road trip up north to Northern California, back down to Southern California. There's always some fucking stalking ass nigga on my case. And what happened was, I explained this in my last video, and I'm on my computer right now instead of using my Nikon, so I can make a longer video. But what happened was I had fucked off and I started shooting dope again. I went on about a 3 week binge and went up see my parents. It was normally, like I've said in my last video, it was a 6 hour drive. Normally, it took me 12. It took me 12 hours to get up there because I was shooting heroin and I was shooting meth. I was doing goofballs and being all paranoid and fucked up, thinking that people on the Highway 5 through the Central Valley with their brights on, that's just something that they do. Just regular people, gang stalkers aside, people just use their brights. And I got paranoid and I kept getting off different exits. I mean, I must have gotten off the freeway fucking at least 10 times. And a few of those times were to take a shot. But, I was on a 3 week binge. Excuse me. I was on a 3 week binge, and I, I kind of fucked Christmas up with my dad and my mom, my sisters. I was falling asleep at the dinner table, all fucked up, and after I had been there for a couple days, I ran out, ran out of all my shit, and I just decided to go cold turkey. And luckily, I didn't have any withdrawals symptoms. I mean, it was very, very mild withdrawals from the opiates, from the heroin. And I luckily, I got a little bit of kratom to help with the withdrawals, but um, I can understand if my making the video where I called Jamil, I kind of get him to sell out. That was kind of perpish of me to do, and then I suddenly just fucking disappear. Well, the reason for that was because I started shooting dope and I got kicked out of the fucking sober living house that I was in. Like, even right now, still, I made my last video yesterday. I'm still in a motel. Pulled my head out of my ass for the most part. You know, right now I'm sipping some Mexican beers. You know, just taking it easy before I before I decide to go back. So, hang on. And pulled my head out of my ass. Got off the shit. Just used a little bit of kratom to get off, to wean off the the withdrawals. And I was stayed at my dad's house for about 4 or 5 days before I finally went over to my sister's house for a day. And my sister is actually just heckle tweet fucking way worse. She's a meth addict, and I went over there and I stayed clean. I mean, thankfully, she didn't smoke any of the shit in front of me, you know, twisting that bubble, smoking the glass cock. Um, but Soulless Dead, I really look up to this guy. He's got a lot of good stuff to say. He's really, you know, he's a little bit hard edged, hard bitten with it, but he's got a lot of good shit to say. And I can understand if my disappearing after making this Jamil video looked a little bit suspicious in terms of me being a perp and whatnot, but I'm not gonna sit here and fucking explain myself. I'm a TI, been a TI for 3.5 years, and this shit has made my life incredibly difficult. The reason I fell off, stopped making videos, was because I was fucked up, and that was all I had cared about. That was all I was caring about at the moment. um, Sorry, I know I keep clearing my throat. Classic perp tactics, but I'm a smoker, so. So there's that. But Soulless Dead, I really look up to you, man. I really appreciate everything you have to say. I just please don't start suggesting that I'm a perp or all these kinds of things, because I'm not, man. I fell off, started using dope, and like I've said, I pulled my head out of my ass, got off of it, and I'm supposed to go back to this place tomorrow. I was supposed to go back today, actually, but I didn't. I fucking hate living at that place, you guys. I cannot stand the way the owner operates the house. It's every sober living house that I've ever been in. If you fuck up, they kick you out for 3 days, and you come back. You get to live. You get to stay there again. You know, it's no harm, no foul. Everything's forgotten. You just need to piss clean. And the way the owner runs the place is, it's like it's a bitch to get a hold of him, and I mean, he's making it really tough for me to get back in there. He wants me to go, instead of 5 meetings a week, he wants me to hit fucking 7 meetings a week, and then it's he wants me to find a sponsor within a month and all these kinds of things, and it's like, dude, fucking, like, that's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. It's whatever. He's the owner. He gets to run the place however he wants. But this is probably the place where I have had the hardest time. I would just say that it's the worst fucking sober living house I've ever been in. Like, honestly, right now I'm trying to get some health insurance. I'm trying to get qualified for some health insurance so that I can go back to treatment. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna do it for sure. I'm just considering that because I, as weird as it sounds, I had fucking so much more fun in rehab than I have, living in these sober living houses, going to meetings every day and fucking answering to some jerk off manager and whatnot. But um, Soul is dead. I look up to you, man. I'm not a perp. I'm a genuine TI. I fell off, started fucking up, pulled my head out of my ass. Here I am. I'm back. I want to start making videos again. But yeah. So that's my introduction to this video. From here, I'm pretty much just gonna ad lib it. Like I said in my last video, I don't know if you guys, not everybody's seen it. I expect, but there was there was one night where there were about 3 or 4 of these guys. You know, my dad lives in the woods. It's a wooded area, and it's still kind of densely populated, but it's like the perfect place for getting on top of the roof as a perp and fucking with a TI who's inside the house, and that's what was happening. Um, you know, so one of them had gotten on the roof, and one of the about 2 or 3 of them were on the ground out in the backyard. And what they were doing was they were filing over from the neighbor's house. One of the neighbor's houses, there's okay. My dad has kind of like a private driveway, and I don't know, it's maybe like 200 feet, a little driveway, and all the houses in the area, in that neighborhood have little driveways, private driveways, and that the one right next to him has a private driveway, and there are. I've never been down it, but I would expect that there are about maybe 3, maybe 4 houses. I could be wrong about the 4th one, but there are at least 3 houses. And this is where these people were fucking with me from. This is where they were operating out of. And one night I was in the bedroom, my sister's room. Like I said, one of my videos was called "Better Solutions for Vehicle Harassment." It was the thumbnail for it was from a Peter Gabriel video, the song "I Don't Remember." Anyway, what was happening was I was in the room, that same room, and these people, they were flashing their flashlights in through the sides of the blinds just to make it obvious that they were there, that they were fucking with me. And one of them was on top of the house, kind of shadowing my movements. I don't know if they have some kind of like X-ray thermal vision device that they use to track you throughout the house. I mean, it really seems like they use some kind of psychic, like some kind of, I like demonic possession, if you will, or some kind of psychic ability. If they're not using technology, because this whole fucking thing, this gang stalking thing, electronic harassment, it seems to involve a lot of supernatural type of ethereal, eldritch kind of elements to it. And you know um, I I'm sitting in the room, they're shining their flashlights in, and About an hour before this was going on, I had locked all the doors to my dad's house. You know, and they usually just leave all the doors unlocked, and I think that's kind of stupid that they do that because if somebody wanted to get in and covertly drug your food and whatnot, that would be the perfect environment because it's a house kind of out in the middle of the woods. It's a sleepy little. My family is a sleepy little family. They go to bed early. You know, they take their Xanax or they fucking whatever. You know, they go to bed and they call it a night pretty early. And you know, one thing on a side note, which I thought was weird is they have a cleaning lady. Her name's Onita, and she's been our cleaning lady for about, I would say, 15 plus years. She's been there since I was in high school, so probably about 18 years she's been working for the family, cleaning up the house about 2 3 days out of the week, and and she. I'm kind of digressing from the story, but let me just tell you this. There was one day when she came over. She was cleaning house. I'm shacked up in my sister's room. Fucking, you know, I don't want to get up. Don't want to come out because I think I had run out of dope at this point. And she was walking past my bedroom door to the laundry room, which is right next door. And she was, you know, saying the little cues, making little fucking cat noises and shit, calling me Quaco and fucking all these kinds of things. And, you know, and that's not the first time that she's ever made it obvious that she was one of my harassers. At least when I'm in town and when she's around, she makes it obvious that she's one of my harassers. And okay, with that said, I was in the kitchen one night. I was in the kitchen one night, a couple nights before, when I still had some dope. I was taking all the cranberries that were in the fridge that they were gonna go bad, so I just turned it into fucking some cranberry juice. You know, I put them on the stove in some fresh water, hit it with a little heat for about 20 minutes, strained out all the berries and stuff, made some homemade cranberry juice, and I could tell as I was doing this in the kitchen, these people, one of them had gotten up on top of the roof, and in my case, I get the V2K, which, if for the layperson or you know somebody not in the know, if this is your first video, you're new to this, you know, that's when you're hearing voices and shit, okay? And I I started thinking to myself, like I started thinking to myself about this Onita lady, the cleaning lady, and I was thinking, okay, this was after she was talking shit, and I still had some dope or whatever, but whatever. I was thinking to myself, and just little things like, you know, fuck that fat ugly bitch, fucking googly eyed, spread donkey tooth, fucking looking Mexican little whore, and and I heard, and I was just thinking this. I was thinking this, and from outside, from the guy on the roof, I hear fuck you." You know, just a real deliberate, like resentful "fuck you." Like, and the impression that I got was that this is somebody who's in the family, so somebody who's a family member of Onita, the cleaning lady, and this is gonna be a longer video because excuse me, I'm recording it on my computer, so I I hear this guy say fuck you," like twice, and then he throws a rock at the sliding glass window behind me. And you know, I'm used to that shit. They like to get up on the roofs and they like to fucking throw rocks and shit. They just do dumb shit to let you know that it's them. And this is my dad's house is out in Saratoga, and that's right near San Jose. San Jose, California, and that's one place where San Jose, where I've heard a lot of accounts from other TIs where they say that their harassers like to get up on top of the roof of their house, and fuck with them that way. And you know, I as I'm sitting there making cranberry juice, thinking, you know, fuck Onita, this spread donkey tooth looking old googly eyed fucking whore. um, I noticed I was getting hit with fucking EMF. I don't know if it was. I'm pretty sure it was from the guy up on the roof, like, because he was shadowing my movements. And my dad, it's the kitchen stove has a a copper flue at the top. You know where the fan sucks out all the fucking heat. It's a copper. It's a nice house. It's a you know so he has a copper flue, and every time I noticed I was getting hit with EMF, you know, it feels like in your head it feels like you're a little bit too far underwater, and the pressure equalization, like you get that feeling in your ear and the high pitched whine. Like, I was starting to notice that a lot, especially when I was standing in one spot for too long. So what what I started doing was I noticed that the flue above the the stove was copper, so I was holding my head underneath it as much as I could while I was working on the fucking cranberry juice. And I was cooking, I was boiling some beets also. And so I don't know if anybody knows. I'm not sure what the properties of metal are and the conductive qualities in terms of echelons like silver, copper, steel. You know, I know gold is probably the best conductor of electricity, but you know these caps that they sell, these silver threaded caps, this cloth, this gilded cloth with silver thread, copper thread, and everything. Like they use that. You know, lessemf.com has these products where you can buy it, and it's like a little beanie that you can wear that has silver threads in it, and it's supposed to block out the shit. But I mean, if it's conductive, you know what I mean? So how does it block all these signals or whatever? That's if anybody knows anything about that, like give me a little tip in the comments box because I would really appreciate that. Because as I was holding my head underneath the copper flue above the stove, uh, I heard the guy on the roof say something like, yeah, that's fucking, I just noticed that. That's a good idea. I'm going to keep doing that. And so I started thinking, like, fuck, maybe this isn't a good idea that I hold my head underneath the flue. Hang on. And, so anyway, I was able to discover that whoever was on the roof, whoever these cocksuckers were, there were three, maybe four of them, I imagine. One of them was on the roof, two or three of them were on the ground, out in the backyard behind the house. And, you know, the guy who said, fuck you, in response to my internal dialogue about this Onita lady was, um, he kind of gave himself away as I just kind of thought, okay, so you're related to her in some way, I gather. And, you know, um, I made a video where I went out back with my camera on my monopod. I taped a flashlight onto the monopod because it's fucking pitch black outside my dad's house at nighttime. There are no street lights. You know, you're in the middle of a wooded area. Hang on, let me grab my cigarettes. So you're in the middle of a a wooded area with, all the street lights are out, like 150 yards away out in the street, at least from where I was. So I went out back with my camera attached to the monopod and with a flashlight on it. It was an 8-minute video, and I got them to say a lot of good shit, but I can't really fucking hear it when I play it back. Especially, I put it into my computer, and this was last night. I've been at a Motel 6, and on a network that's, I imagine it's probably as good as an unsecured network, where your computer is a little more susceptible to attack. But I reviewed this video. It was an 8-minute video. You can kind of hear people say, you can kind of hear these guys say a little something here and there, but not really. I have the video saved and backed up on a USB drive, and what I need is somebody with, like, look out for Charlie. I need to send this sample to him so that he could maybe isolate um, the the audio samples of these guys talking, because they were saying stuff like, "Oh, you're looking, oh shit, dude," like all sarcastically, like, "Oh shit, we're caught." And another thing they said was like, "Oh, my name's Chris Gristle. I'm a tweaker." And then I responded to that. I said, "Well, yeah, fucking periodically, but honestly, you guys kind of took the fun out of it." And I'll post that video. I just fucking, I was kind of bummed. It was discouraging because I can't really get any quality audio samples out of it because I was just using the stock camera microphone on my Nikon. And anyway, it's an 8-minute video, and I'll post it. I would look out for Charlie. If you're out there and you're listening to this, bro, I could really use your expertise on this. Like, if I could send this audio sample to you somehow, if you could isolate any of the voices of these people, I would really appreciate that. In fact, I'll send you an email. Um, Fuck, wow. What else was I gonna say? Um, but yeah, I was bummed out when I reviewed it because I couldn't really. I fucking heard little tiny whispers, like a little vestige of what they were saying, but nothing too clear, I need better audio equipment and somebody with some expertise, so. But the thing was when I took it out of my computer, I ejected it properly. I didn't just take the SD card out, which if you have a Mac, it's you have to eject a card or an SD card or a thumb drive properly before you just take it right out. Anyway, I put the SD card back in my camera, and mind you, I'm on the Wi-Fi at Motel 6 the whole time. So I put the SD card back into my camera, and it says, "This SD card is not usable. Please insert another disc." I'm like, what the fuck? Come on, man. Like, so right there, that gives me. I was bummed out at first, but that gave me a little bit of hope because I was pretty confident that, the fact that if they were fucking with my equipment, my computer, my SD card, the audio samples on the recording, if they mucked it up somehow, that tells me that there's something on there. So there is that. Hang on. Biatch! I'm not done yet. Alright. And then, so, after a couple of tries, I took the SD card out, put it back in, it said the same thing. This card's no good. I'm like, fuck, dude, god damn it. So I turn the camera off, take the SD card out, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off without a SD card in it. And then I put the SD card back in, and it worked. So I was pretty stoked about that. What what bums me out is that if you're on a Wi-Fi signal on an unsecured network, they can just fuck with you. It's real covert, real surreptitious, really ubiquitous. I hope I'm using the right words. It's just like these fuckers are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They can fucking get you, as you're sitting on your computer unsuspectingly. They can just fucking come in and, get you somehow. And it really fucking pisses me off because it's like I'm trying to fucking get a decent sample on this fucking SD card off this recording, and I don't know if they tried to, you know, um, erase the samples or foul them up somehow. You know what I mean? What's up, guys? Yeah, I probably won't be on here too long. I usually keep tape over the thing, just because, but it is Chris Gristle. It is Chris Gristle, the English, it's all organic. It's all organic. I have been racking my brain trying to figure out, oh, no, surprise. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out how I can isolate a better sample on this recording, because if anybody knows how to do it out of the TI community, it's look out for Charlie. Charlie, I need your help. So if you watch this, you can get back to me, bro. I really can use your expertise. I can't stress that enough. I know this is probably the third time I've said that, but um, 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 yeah, I'm probably gonna put the tape back up because I can ad lib a lot better if I'm not looking at myself. Fucking. But sorry. Alright, so what we got is fuckers who like to get up on top of your roof and make it hell for you. I mean, the night that they got on top of my roof, like I've said, I'm just gonna go over it again because this was like a milestone in terms of harassment episodes for me. This was one of the top 3, probably top 2 most fucking horrible extreme harassment episodes I have ever fucking endured. In my 3.5 years of being a TI, being harassed on a daily fucking basis, being followed where I go, so these fuckers watching you take a shit somehow while you're in a fucking motel. It's like, this, you know, being stuck in my sister's room while they're shining flashlights in. They're on the roof, fucking getting at me. I mean, anytime I left my sister's room, they were getting at me through the sunroof that I forgot my dad even had. I'd fucking hear one of them, go, "Woo-hoo," or something like that. I'd look up at the sunroof. I'm like, oh, fuck. I completely forgot that my dad had this little sunroof. And I pull out my flashlight that I It was one of my dad's flashlights that I had just kind of swiped for use that night. I go to fire it up, and there's no juice in it. So I'm like, fuck. So I just go back inside the room. And another thing, just on a side note, this fucking Nick CB13, like, you get the fuck off my channel, you faggoty ass little military fucking, you dumbed down, order taking, cunty ass little fucking military puss. Get off my channel for real, dude. I'm serious. Like, how does it feel to be poor and stupid? I don't know. How does it feel to be fucking marching around in fucking high heels at Fort Bragg, you little fucking faggot? So, get off my channel and leave me the fuck alone, dude. Seriously. You ain't shit. Anyway, back to the story at hand. The guy's a troll. He fucking trolls other TIs. Especially Brian 2. That dude is just on Brian 2's fucking nuts all the time. Like, oh, so you're a drug addict? Oh yeah, so you wear fucking high heels and you march around the base? Fucking, it's amazing. It's fucking hilarious what the military makes these fucking assholes do. Yeah. So I digress from that. Nick CB13, whatever the fuck your name is, go fuck yourself, get off my channel, and stop making hateful comments. Anyway, so I was at my dad's house. You know, after I had fucked up Christmas dinner, you know, nodding off in front of my dad and my sisters and my dad's friend Carlos, I felt kind of bummed out. You know, my stepmom came out one day and she's like, "You can't use the washer anymore. You broke it." I'm like, what? Like, how did I break it? Like, she's like, "You stuffed too many clothes in it." I'm like, bitch, I don't fucking even have enough clothes to fucking stuff it all the way up. Like, you're tripping. But of course I didn't say that. I wasn't about to argue with her. It's like, you're letting me stay at the house. That's fine. You know, okay, I broke the machine. Fucking whatever. Even though I've seen some of the fucking loads that my sister and my mom throw in the washing machine. I think what happened was the fucking maid Onita told my mom that I broke the machine. It's fucking cunt. Um, anyway, so yeah, after that was probably the day after Christmas dinner that she came out and told me that. I was getting ready to fucking have a family game night. I was going to play some Monopoly with my dad and my sister. I don't know if any of you guys have played the Supernatural fucking promotional version of Monopoly. That shit's pretty fun. I was getting ready to play Monopoly with my dad and my sister, and my mom came out like Miss Trunchbull from Matilda. You can't use the washing machine anymore. I was like, okay, well, sorry, I broke it. Fucking in my head, I'm thinking, fuck you, dude. Like, oh my god, dude, it drives me nuts because I my dad is in chronic pain. He needs painkillers. You know, he needs his script. You know, on a daily basis. He needs that shit because he is in chronic pain. He's a 63-year-old man. My mom, you know, she sits in bed all fucking day. I can't remember the last time she's gotten up, taken a shower, and fucking dressed up in some jeans or some street clothes. You know what I mean? I mean, she literally spends all fucking day in bed, barred out on Xanax or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? And my sister Janine, she's not as bad. She's not bad at all, but she enjoys a little Xanax fucking here and there. And it's like my whole family is like just pharmaceutical fucking fodder. It just drives me nuts sometimes because it's like, you, Justin, you. It is all because of you. You're the one. You don't belong. You're not one of us. And it's like, dude, do you ever fucking look at yourselves? Like, how bad could I possibly be? You just fucking, I'm just the identified patient, and you want somebody who is a worse drug addict than you. You know that drinking buddy who always goes a little overboard. You know, you always keep them around because they're still fun to hang out with, but you're always worried about them because they drink too much. That's who I am to my family. You know, it's like when I'm using, like no matter how little, when when I'm using, that's how it is. It's like you're not one of us and you don't belong. Good, good. Let the hate flow through you. Something, something, something dark side. Something, something, something complete. It's like, fuck you guys, you know? Well, I'm really having a good time on this fucking recording longer than 20 minutes, you know. I always feel rushed. But that's how it is, you know, in my family. And plus, I mean, ever since my brother died back in 2013, January, early fucking January, within the first week of January 2013, nonetheless, it's been tough. You know, my whole family's been, you know, popping little fucking Skittles and snacks and this and that and fucking whatever, you know. I could see, you know, you need something to fucking get through the hard times. You know, I can understand that, but uh, don't go overboard with it. Don't spend all day in bed and don't fucking criticize me for being, you know, the bad one or the black sheep or the one who's way worse off just to make yourself look better. I mean, I mean this video is almost half about gang stalking, half about, you know, just airing my dirty laundry, I guess. Whatever. It fucking makes me feel good. Honesty is, people respect honesty. And if you're gonna judge, I could give a shit less, you know. So yeah, what, 42 minutes, 39 seconds. So yeah, this has been one hell of a fucking boat ride these last 3 weeks. Had to get some kratom. Had to get some kratom from the smoke shop. I need to take a shower. Um, had to get some kratom from the smoke shop to get off the opiates and whatnot. Porque I wanna getting a job opportunity for me. Porque I am, como se dice, the very best actor. I wanna putting food on the table. See. I don't know, just being goofy. Um, yeah, it feels good to be back. Um, Sipping on some beers right now, so, you know, if you want to judge, that's fine. Tis the season, is all I gotta say. Um, Hang on one second. What we've got here is failure to communicate. When I packed up and left that house I was staying at, I kind of took some of the manager's clothes and shit like that because he's been gone for over a month and he still has a bunch of his shit. Like this sweater, this is his sweater. Like I took the shoulder pads out. um, anyway, so what else? For me, that night these guys were on the roof. This lasted from, I would say, from 12 midnight, 12:30 midnight until about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, like I said in my last video, I'm kind of just doing a recap, um, but I have not been put in a state emotionally or mentally during that harassment episode since this shit all started for me. And like I've said, if you've been going through it for 3, 4 years, 5 years, whatever the fuck, if you haven't fucking killed yourself, slit your own wrist, I knew a guy actually fucking slit his own throat. It was my sister's ex-boyfriend, Warren, and nobody could ever figure out what the fuck was wrong with the guy. Like why did he slit his throat? That's like some hardcore shit. Like people don't be doing that shit. Like I kind of had an idea. I was kind of I kind of had an idea of what was going on with him, but yeah. I mean, if you're getting gang stalked and the intensity in which these people are attacking you, especially if you're getting V2K on a constant basis, and you're having your thoughts criticized in real time, that shit is very, very hard to deal with. Sometimes I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I get through it. Sometimes I'll sit and I'll think about past harassment episodes, or just those few little harassment episodes where hands all fucked up. Just those few harassment episodes that stick with you from the past. You think about them like, God damn, dude, like that was fucking traumatic. Like, it is really, really fucking hard to deal with this. I think that we as TIs, genuine TIs, we as TIs are some of the strongest willed fucking people on the planet, because if you're getting psychologically attacked on a daily basis, you're getting V2K, you're having your thoughts criticized back to you in real time. It's almost like there's like a permanent link between your mind and your harasser at a distance. And then like sometimes like I'll start singing because it feels good. I'll start singing out loud, and it's like so that's if I haven't been getting harassed, I'll start singing, and then they'll start in with the fucking harassment. I'll just have to ignore it and keep singing. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck you. Like, it's almost like, even like fucking 1 or 2 in the morning. It's almost like there's a permanent link. And like I've said before, there is definitely an AI scripting element to this, but I also think that, if you're running in charge of a dam, you're in charge of the Hoover Dam, that shit pretty much runs itself, but every so often you're going to need human maintenance, you know what I mean? There's definitely AI scripting that happens, probably for the most part, but, there has to be a human element to it too, where there's live action, a person on the other end of that fucking microphone or whatever. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm starting to think that it's not even them saying anything out loud into a microphone. I'm starting to think that it's just a fucking direct link to another person's mind. I know this could sound crazy to, any normal person, but it's this could sound crazy to any other normal person, but it's just something that you feel as a TI. You know what I mean? There's the trouble with being a TI going through V2K is that your theories are constantly changing. You know what I mean? I've had theories before where it's like I've heard these people are time travelers, and that kind of fucking rang true. Like, yeah, what if they? I think that could be true if they are fucking time travelers, because a lot of times they'll leave me alone, and they'll leave me alone for a spell, but they always seem to come back. Like, and it's always when I'm in a place where I'm getting back on my feet. It's like they push you the fuck down. They back off. They watch you get up, and then they fucking push you down again. And it's like, um, it's really hard because at some point I don't know when I'm not going to be able to get back up again. You know what I mean? Especially living on a passive income like I am. I haven't worked for over a year at a regular job. Like, I could have had fucking 10 jobs right now, because I'll be fucking honest with you guys. I take modafinil on a daily basis. I cycle off of it. I cycle back on because you get those diminishing returns and it doesn't perform like you want it to. But I take modafinil and choline and modafinil. You need those two. You need the choline with modafinil because you will get headaches. And I mean, these are headaches that Advil will get rid of, but I don't want to be taking Advil every day. Choline is good because it ups your neurotransmitters, acetylcholine. And acetylcholine is one of those neurotransmitters that gets used up. It doesn't get, there's no reuptake for later use. I mean, modafinil is a fucking lifesaver, and I would have had, fucking 10 good jobs by now if I wasn't so paranoid all the time. I live on a passive income of about $300 a week from, because I have a little property up north, but my dad is in 51% control of me, and that's been my bread and butter. It's a duplex that I receive a monthly revenue from, but I live on about $300 a week, and just it's tough sometimes because with all the stupid shit that I go through, it's like getting kicked out of this fucking place, having to spend money on motels, you know, um, getting back into the fucking play, getting, I got kicked out with 2 weeks to go on my rent, so I gypped myself out of that. It's just little fucking stupid shit where I just keep fucking spending money, and it's hard sometimes. It really is. Yeah, it's hard work sometimes, but I am grateful because it could be a lot worse. Estrella Jalisco. Good shit. I am supposed to go back. I was supposed to go back to the house today. But I really can't stand the way the fucking owner runs the place. It's just a fucking gong show over there. Shit, I'm coming up on close to an hour. So, I guess what as some of my closing statements, not to sound like Jerry Springer or anything, but my closing statement would be, if you're a TI, you're getting voice to skull, or you're just getting fucking stalked on a daily basis. You got random people walking past you, being hostile for no reason, saying the same little cues, noises, and words that you're sensitized to. You know, it's fucking hard work, but you really gotta keep your head up. You really have to keep your head up, and you have to stay positive. And I think that um, one of the problems I had was that I had trouble getting motivated just in the morning. That's why I got started on modafinil. And there's a couple of good websites. You know, it is technically a drug, but it's not addictive in the normal sense. I mean, this shit is motivation in a pill. Like, if I wasn't taking it, I probably wouldn't be making these videos. So I haven't taken any today because I'm trying to cycle off of it for a little bit. But um, you know, there in terms of the drug aspect, there is a slight euphoria associated with it, but it's really motivation in a pill is what it is, and it's um, I mean, it will fucking change your life, modafinil, or its cousin, armodafinil. I mean, actually, hold on. This is well, okay. There's a little glare. Armodafinil. This is its cousin. I'm not too experienced with it, but it is the right-handed. It is the dextro enantiomer of modafinil. This is actually a Wellbutrin container, but they look like this. They are real basic looking, unmarked tablets that you could get from duckdose.com. duckdose.com. It's a little company out of India, and in fact, most of these companies are based out of India. I live in Southern California, on the west coast of the United States, and India is, you know, fucking way on the other side of the world. It takes about 9 days for the stuff to get to my doorstep. The longest it's ever taken is 14, and that was it was back during Thanksgiving when it took that long. But this stuff will change your life. It is armodafinil. It just came up on a box. It is 50 right here. Armodafinil. Yeah, it is a drug, but it's not addictive in the normal sense. These ones are called Wake Alert 150. Like I said, the armodafinil is the right-handed or the dextro enantiomer of the modafinil molecule compound, and modafinil is both the levo and dextro, meaning it's both the left-handed and right-handed. Every molecule in nature has a mirror image of one another. It's like Adderall. Adderall is levo and dextroamphetamine. It's right-handed and left-handed amphetamine when it hits. That's modafinil. Regular old modafinil is levo and dextro modafinil. Armodafinil is the right-handed or dextro enantiomer, um, right-handed compound, right-handed molecule of the compound, armodafinil. What you do is go on to, ask around to your friends. Anybody who has shift work, it's hard to get it from a doctor. You have to. It was designed for people with narcolepsy, and they will give it to you if you have shift work, you know what I mean, or you have a hard time staying awake during the day. But I've always had a bitch of a time trying to get the shit prescribed legally, so I go online to duckdose.com, or there's another one called modafinilstar.com. Modafinil is Modafinil. Again, that's Modafinil. It's modafinil. And, this shit will really change your life. You take one, you gotta take it early because you get about 8 to 12 hours on the high end. And it behaves like a stimulant, but it's not a stimulant in the normal sense. You don't get jitters from it. It's not like that. Um, it. I mean, if you're a TI and you find it, and you're unemployed, like a lot of TIs are, you find it fucking difficult to get out of bed in the morning, like I did. Get some of these. You go on the website, you can get 50 of them for about $80. Tax, no shipping, $80 flat for 50 of them. And, you take it about 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you can even take it as late as 9, but you get about 8 to 12 hours on the high end. And fucking, you're focused. It's a calm, wakeful aware feeling. It's hard to describe. It is like a stimulant, but you're very calm. You're very calm, and you're very motivated. You just want to be productive while you're on it. And I mean, I really would advise any TI who's having a hard time in life right now, like, you're going to need a supplement or two to help you. And half the reason I drink so much fucking green tea is because of the L-theanine, which, if you're going a little too, if it's affecting you a little too rigidly, drink some of that L-theanine, and it'll balance you out. You can sit there if you're Nick CB13, little faggot ass fucking army, dumbed down, order taking little fucking cunty army man. Judge me for being a drug addict or whatever. Fuck you. You have no idea what we go through as TI, so you can go fuck yourself, you little mama's boy, bitch ass motherfucker. Sorry. For the rest of my TI brethren, get some modafinil. It will help you, okay? I love you guys. That's pretty much all I got for right now. I'm going to post this. We'll see how long it takes to upload, but I love you guys. Alright? Thanks for watching.